up, disc golfers? Joe here with Joe's Disc Golf, and yeah, here we go, starting out the podcast. For those of you, hey, I'm just letting you know, this is the podcast. The first third-ish of this podcast is new, hasn't been released yet. The back two-thirds, you've seen it if you've watched the videos that have come out already this week. So, just giving you a heads up there. I know there's a little bit of confusion last week. Want to clear that up. That was kind of on me here. That was my bad. Not clearly stating what was going on. Got some stuff we got to talk about with that. Got some stuff to talk about with Deann Carey and also Innova. A couple times Innova. So here we go. Before we get too far into this, if you like disc golf news, if you like disc golf commentary, if you like what I'm saying, hey, awesome. Subscribe. That's what this channel is all about. Bringing you the latest news from all around the disc golf world. So I want to thank you all for watching. Thank all the new subscribers. Thank all the people who have been here. There are over 800 of you, and that is awesome. We are pushing for 1,000. So next goal is 1,000 subscribers right there. Thank you all for watching. Before we get even further into this, we need to thank our sponsor, Log. What rolls downstairs? A loner in pairs rolls over your neighbor's dog. What's great for a snack and it fits on your back? It's Log, Log, Log. It's big, it's heavy, it's wood. It's better than bad, it's good. Everyone wants a log. You're gonna love it, Log. Come on and get your log. Log from Blammo. Not a real sponsor there, guys. But, yeah. So, channel update. Put out a Twitter and YouTube poll, and the overwhelming majority of all three of you on Twitter had said that the question here was, do you think I should spin off the Joe's Disc Golf podcast and the Half in the Bag podcast, basically call it the Joe's podcast, Joe's Disc Golf podcast channel, essentially? I don't know. Name is TBD if it were to happen, but everybody said no there, and we had one person at the time of recording say yes on YouTube, and 40, I believe it was one person, and then 44% say no, and another 44% say Berg. So thank you all for that. That was on me for putting that on there as an option. Go Berg. So we are keeping that there, but I'm going to kind of rename some of the podcasts. So I will start them as just, podcast and then the name. So just so there's some clarity so that you see that and you're like, oh yeah, it's a new video, sort of. I can watch the first little bit and it'll be just fine. And then it gets into the stuff we already talked about. That is also for the audio podcast people. Still want to keep that up and running pretty smoothly here. I think that is about it. You can see the image quality here is a little bit different. Got a new camera and lens, and I look uglier than ever in HD. Yep. Got the background all set up. Got that nice, beautiful blue light back there. Not the UV light. Hey-o. Not a red light. Whoa. That is a different kind of channel. Probably on Twitch. Probably involves a hot tub and a bikini. I own none of those. Maybe. Who knows? Hey. Check me out on lonelypeople.com. I'm just kidding. Let's get into the little bit of news that has happened here that I'm glad that normally I record this Thursday night, get it out Friday morning. I'm recording this Friday morning, trying to get it out Friday afternoon. Thank God I did that because some news broke after I would have been done recording last night and obviously this morning. First off, Deann Carey is leaving Innova. The mass exodus continues. She is happy. 4 years ago, Innova took a chance and became my first sponsor. That is something I will be forever grateful for. That being said, I'll no longer represent them in 2023. I'm super excited to see how this next chapter plays. So, sounds like it wasn't exactly mutual. It doesn't sound like she was ready for this. And it sounds like Innova is trying to clear some cap space because we haven't heard anything about Evelina or Hannah, two of the best, save for their putting, FPO players out there. Yeah. What are they doing? Do you think they could go someplace else? I don't think so. I think Innova has a history of their top players backing up the truck and dumping the money. Look at Haley King. Look at Calvin Heimberg. And I think you'll see that. I think that will be... I think they're trying to clear out space, which is now going to add some depth and talent to some other companies out there. Because if you looked at the Innova roster, I thought last year that they're cutting everybody. They are losing big time, losing the signing battle, and they ended up losing some big names, yes, but overall they managed to still stay on top with a lot of top 10 on both the MPO and FPO side. Now it seems like they're trying to clear out some space, and I don't think we'll see as many spots filled in the top 10 by Innova. I think what we're going to see is a lot of this spread out between MVP. I don't know about Dynamic Discs. I don't think they have a lot of cap space after Ricky and Kona last year, and re-signing Macy for probably relatively inexpensive. But next year, if this 2023 season goes really well for Macy, yeah, you better be ready to back up the truck. Same with Valerie Mondahano. She is going to be asking for a pretty penny for sure, rightfully so. She played really well, and especially if she looks at like, hey, this is what Kona got, and this is what I got. Yeah. I kicked her butt up and down the fairway multiple tournaments. Now, to be fair, Kona has a huge social media presence, and that was probably a lot of what was driving the cost of her and getting her there and signing her there. But overall, hey, if Valerie can go somewhere and get paid, she deserves it. She's a very good, very, very good disc golfer. I believe she's under contract for one more year, if I remember correctly off the top of my head. I believe that is all these things. Oh, Emerson Keith. Haven't had a chance to talk about Emerson Keith. He signed with Lone Star Discs. He is dropping the LSD. He is getting a Tour Series lineup. He's getting the whole 9 yards there. He's getting some money, and it's a 1-year contract there. I think Lone Star Discs is still making some big moves. Apparently, they have some other big moves out there. I'll be curious to see what happens. I think now we won't really hear much. There might be some trickles of information coming out next week in between Christmas and New Year's. And yeah. And here I am working on Festivus. How dare I work on Festivus? I need to air some grievances with all of you. I really don't have any. I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I appreciate the solid discussion that you have in the comment section of these videos. It's awesome. I'm what I want to do is build that community up, and I'm trying, and you guys are doing a great job. You guys are fantastic. I could not do this without you, without your support, without your help. So if you want to go to my GoFundMe, I'm kidding. I don't have GoFundMe. A lot of those are scams anyways, in my opinion. Not all of them. There are exceptions. Moving on to the other Innova news. And that is they announced the qualifying tournaments for USDGC. As always, if you are a past winner, automatic invite. Top 10 from the last one, so 2022, automatic invite. Now, what they did, I think they listened to some of the criticism that us in the media have given them, because tournaments like DGLO, the Discraft Great Lakes Open, tournaments like DDO, the Dynamic Discs Open, you couldn't qualify there. They were a tour series. They were all well attended, but you couldn't do it. And we're all sitting there going, hang on a second. Innova owns USDGC. So you can't qualify unless it's an Innova or a non-branded tournament. That doesn't seem right. That seems pretty shady and stupid. But what do I know? I'm just a media personality and just, looking on the outside in and just going, hang on, that ain't right. That ain't right. No, bad, Innova, bad. And they listened. So there'll be 4 total spots available at each of the U.S. events listed below, which are the Challenge at Goat Hill, Las Vegas Challenge, Texas State, Throw Down the Mountain, Blue Ridge Championship, PDGA Champions Cup, Jonesboro 303 Open, I don't know that one, OTB Open, Portland Open, Dynamic Discs Open, Des Moines Challenge, The Preserve, Discraft, Ledgestone Insurance Open, Idlewild, PDGA Pro World Championship, and MVP Open. 4 of those at every spot. And then if, 1 through 4 get in at the next tournament, if 2 of those people are already in, then it just moves on down. International events, there are now 2 spots at all the following open ones, at all the following spots here, and I apologize if I mispronounce this, but we've got the Copenhagen Open in Copenhagen, Foxwood Open in Ontario, Pro Forester Euro Tour Konepiste, Krokol Open in Norway, I apologize, the Swedish Open, Skellefteå Open, PCS Open, European Open, BC Open, Eltaguse in Estonia Open, European Disc Golf Championship, and Srivori, I apologize, it's in Finland. So thank you all there. Yep. There's also will be the Monday qualifier at Winthrop. Individual can qualify there. Up to 4 people will be selected. The 4 best rounds, lowest will be there. Sudden death playoffs if necessary. And as mentioned before, if you've won previously, you get in. Top 10 from last year, you get in. And certain masters and amateur events will also get you in. So I think that's going to be pretty awesome there. It's kind of nice that Innova and USA Disc Golf took some hints from the media of how you can't have these massive tournaments run by the Disc Golf Pro Tour, this massive where all of these pros are showing up and it's like, oh yeah, this one doesn't count. It's like, what? Hang on a second. Hang on. Why doesn't this count? Oh wait, it's because it's one of your competitors that's running the tournament. Yeah. But there you go. That's about that. Now we're going to move into our other topics here, which are the Drew Gibson GoFundMe tweet and Natalie Ryan's second tweet. So there you go. Let's get on with that. I was running out of different topics to talk about here. Natalie Ryan is making more news on Instagram, roasting, burning bridges, I would actually say. But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about, of course, the one, the only, the Hemingway of disc golf, Drew Gibson, because his tweets are absolutely legendary. I'd say, he's even better than Heming. He's Tolkien. He is absolutely Tolkien or Token. I don't know which. Could be either. I don't judge. It's up to you. But let's take a look at his latest tweet that is definitely causing waves in the disc golf community, because every time it seems this man tweets, there's something else crazy going on. But first, a word from our sponsor, Log. What rolls downstairs? A loner in pairs rolls over your neighbor's dog. What's great for a snack and it fits on your back? It's Log, Log, Log. It's big, it's heavy, it's wood. It's better than bad. It's good. Log from Blammo. You're going to want it, Log. Come on and get your log. Everyone wants a log. Not a real sponsor for all you new people out there. Look it up. It's good times. Ren and Stimpy. So, Drew Gibson decides that he is going to take to Twitter and talk about GoFundMe. Don't know what prompted this. There's no context for this. There's nothing really like, hey, this is why. My partial assumption is the whole Natalie Ryan legal fund thing is making a lot of waves on disc golf. Whether you're for or against it, it's hard to ignore that is a thing. So Drew Gibson tweets out, "Hey, I'm going to go on tour, quote, donate money on my GoFundMe." Actually reads, "I want to pursue my dream. Please donate the money from your hard work to help me. GoFundMe is great for health issues or unexpected things that come up. But in my opinion," he was yelling that part, "not so great for, quote, free money." Now, the people battled back and forth here. Just saying like, hey, it's your money. You should do what you want. Some people are saying, no, GoFundMe generally is full of grifters and scammers. I personally, as a personal note here, don't like to donate to GoFundMe, GiveSendGo, Indiegogo, that kind of stuff. I will do Kickstarters from reputable things. I have done a few Kickstarters, including the Loft Hydrogen disc. But in my mind, this is how it's different. I'm getting something for it. I am giving Loft discs, $40 or whatever it was, and I am getting a disc or two or whatever. I'm getting, however that goes. So Drew's next point is buying a signature product is nowhere near the same support, quote unquote. You're buying a product you like / will use in exchange for a small portion of going to your favorite, in exchange for a small portion going to your favorite player. People don't want to create content or things to get paid. They want handouts. Seems whack to me, no matter what. So it's interesting. There are a lot of different things on GoFundMe or whatever other alternative money sharing platform out there, from movies to board games to going on tour. And to an extent, I see his point, but it's kind of interesting. And I like some of these replies here. I don't agree with P-Town Local Yokel. Maybe the DGPT should have some sort of pooled funds to assist the first and second year pros get on their feet. I imagine they lose so much money just learning the ropes, from where to set up their cell booths to websites, and oh yes, trying to cash on courses they've never played. So this is where I think the Pro Tour is trying to help out and doing the little regional tour thing, the trying to get you on there. Because honestly, disc golf is heading to a place where that's not necessarily going to be a problem anymore, with college disc golf becoming a thing. So I don't necessarily think that it's the Disc Golf Pro Tour's responsibility. It's not the NBA's responsibility. It's not the MLB's responsibility. It's not the NFL, MLS, insert major league sport. So it's none of their responsibilities to make sure that players have certain things. It's whatever team. And golf is the same way. The PGA doesn't give money to those first year pros. You got to get up and you got to earn it. So it's harder right now, but I think there are ways that it's going to change here. It's just interesting that, Drew Gibson also says, Ben Kickert says, plenty of times I've donated from my hard work to help people pursue their dreams. I've covered moving expenses, helped buy tools for people getting into a trade, and suits for people doing job interviews. Haven't donated to a touring pro, but seems reasonable. Drew responds, good on you. I'd rather use my available funds to feed kids in need for the holidays or get them presents they otherwise wouldn't, than give to a full-grown adult to spend on gas and entry fees, which aren't necessities. So I get his point there. It's interesting, but I also understand people wanting to pursue this. And if someone gives their money, I mean, good on you. Good for you, I guess. That being said, I have started a GoFundMe. I'm kidding. But there is the Joe's Disc Golf merch shop. So if you want something there, you could go to joesdiscgolf.com/shop. the site is a little bit under construction. I am currently in the middle of switching print-on-demand supplier, moving to a new one with a better selection and better for everyone overall. There are a handful of things up there, including beer steins, beer glasses, and sweatshirt. So got my priorities straight here. There's also Half in the Bag merch. So if you haven't seen Half in the Bag, check out that podcast. But overall, I get his point, and I think every person is entitled to their opinion, and if you want to donate to an up and coming local pro, go for it. Good on you. I don't care. That's not something I would do. I would rather support them through buying a sweatshirt, Tour Series disc, or, if they have an allotment of discs, just buy one from them, because it's probably something I would use. I generally like to get something out of it. I have been burned on Kickstarters before, and I'm pretty cautious on that, and that maybe, whatever. So that's what's going on there. Kind of a slow day here. Working on another Natalie Ryan video, but I don't want to have it come across as old man yelling at clouds. So working hard on that after the latest Instagram post from this past weekend. I'm here to talk to you about Natalie Ryan again, okay? I know I teased it in the last video I did, and I had to preface it with saying, I was writing an article that I needed to stop being old man yells at clouds, because some of the stuff that was said in this Instagram post by Natalie Ryan just kind of, rubbed me the wrong way. So it took me a moment. As I said, I'm trying to keep my emotions under control. I'm trying to come at this as a reasonable human being, as someone who can critically think with the thing between his ears and use this beautiful face here as more than just a hat rack. And I think I can do that. So without further ado, let's just get into it, because Natalie Ryan definitely did. And she took to Instagram to post some stuff, including the following statement. This was a couple days after her original statement. And, let me just give it to you in her words. I am not the only new touring player who has found success as part of a newer generation of FPO disc golfers with a more well-rounded game. Attributing this success only to the fact that I'm transgender ignores the hard work I have put in to gain competency in every shot shape and angle, but also ignores the fact that others have done so too. My most active detractors have been complacent and haven't improved their games in years. They only started due to the evolution of FPO that now requires it to win. They won't speak up despite the survey pointing to disc golf leaning more conservative, disproving their fear for being canceled. Trans people's anger for situations like this has been used against them for generations as justification for our collective removal from the public spaces. I refuse to fall in line and accept my frustration is valid. So I will say that yes, being frustrated, totally understand. Your livelihood was upended. However, saying that no one in the FPO practices, that you're the only person who goes out to practice putting, hits the weight room, watches what you eat, goes and does field work, plays multiple rounds a day or a week or however, is an absolute crock. As I've said before, and as I will say again in the future, inevitably, disc golf is becoming more and more professional. So everybody is practicing more. They were practicing what they needed to do prior, and now what they need to do is more. One of the reasons Paige Pierce was so dominant was because she took the game incredibly serious. The reason why her main rival for a number of years was Katrina Allen and still is because of how serious she takes the game. Look at what she posts on Instagram about how her eating schedule is so regimented and her workout plan and she has everything planned to the minute. Like crazy planned. Good for her. Not my style at all. As I record this probably less than 10 hours before it's going out. Not my style, clearly. You look at Kristen Tatar, who is like doing the same thing, and everybody else. Now, as for them not, I'm taking this down a little bit at a time here. As for them not speaking out because, they'll get canceled, blah, blah, blah. Disc golf is still small. And the mob in general will not hesitate to take anyone down. Inside disc golf, outside disc golf, whatever. It does not matter. On top of that, manufacturers, and this has been said multiple times anonymously through the Quillette article, that a lot of players can't say things for fear of losing their sponsor, for fear of being kicked out, unless everybody else says something. But nobody can say anything until everybody else says something. So they're in this weird catch-22 type thing. So there is that situation there. I want to point out, because this obviously made its rounds on Reddit, and it became a huge dumpster fire, but there were some kernels in the crap storm that, stood out here. User Prudent Food 77 seemed to summarize the general sentiment against Natalie Ryan and transgender women in FPO the best possible way, in my opinion here. And the comment read, "Well, from what I read, you just have to practice more, Natalie, and you will be able to be competitive in MPO without any problem. Or are you just too lazy to put in the work you need to do to reach that level?" Kind of throwing some of Natalie's words back in her face. So, especially with the fact that, as I mentioned before, through the GoFundMe, and I'm not going to harp on this much, but saying like, I'm not that good, but I still won. Like, that's kind of like argument numero uno against you, saying that you basically make the case saying of you are good because you're transgender. And you're saying you're not. You've put in all this time, effort, and all that stuff. So I don't know if you've even changed that on GoFundMe. Who knows? By the time this comes out, it could change. So there. User SheHeisers1234 added a separate response there and accurately seemed to summarize the people who are in support of transgender women in FPO in general. And SheHeisers wrote, "I've been a supporter of hers, but she is insufferable." And I think that is probably the most elegant way to summarize that. I do want to tend to agree with one point of Natalie Ryan's argument, and that is the point that the PDGA doesn't give a flying crap about amateurs, because their whole argument is for FPO to make everything fair. Transgender women can't participate unless their testosterone levels are below 2 nanomoles per liter and have transitioned before puberty has started. Okay, so we got that. In FPO, transition whenever you want, just keep that testosterone down low. So I do agree that it doesn't seem right that these are two separate policies. And I honestly think I come down like the FPO, the touring FPO, the hardest, strictest one should be across the board. It should be all across the board. And I think, and if you guys agree with me, let me know. If you think I'm full of crap and it should be the other way around, okay. I don't agree. I don't agree. I think there are, and there is some evidence, not great, but as the research does come out, we'll find out more here. And I will be, I think the testosterone level should be raised to the average. Like, you pull any woman off the street and go, all right, we're measuring your testosterone. It could be 2.4. I think it should be at least at that level, or 2.5. It has to be less than 2.4. So, that kind of stuff. That's one thing that should change. I think it should be, like I said, the same point all the way across. And I don't know. I think there are some valid points in the rage comments that are coming out, and I can't say that I totally, I can understand. So that was just a quick update there. Let me know what you think down in the comments. If you enjoyed this, great. Give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, don't. Give it a thumbs down. Not that that matters anymore because YouTube took that away, essentially. But, hit me up in the comments below. Let me know I'm full of crap. Agree with me. Whichever. I don't care. I will be the first to change my opinion if good, solid science comes out and says, no, there is no difference. But it doesn't look like it's coming down that way. But, hey, hold my feet to the fire in 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 years, whenever this research gets done. Credible research, not some undergrad BS senior project. Trust me, been part of those. They're a load of shit. All right, thank you all for watching. A lot of stuff covered today. So much fun, so much to talk about. Thank you all for watching. If you get a bad tree kick, well, that's because you have transgressed against Jesus and you need to repent and reflect. And if you get a great tree kick, that is because you have pleased Jesus in some form or fashion. Thank you all for watching. As always, I've been Joe, you've been awesome, and I can't wait to see you all in the next video.